Hi, I'm Kelsey Murray from Tickle Me Pink Style blog, and this is a series of interviews I conducted with Boston-based bloggers. We discussed fashion, social media, and they all had something different to say when I noted that Boston has been called out for being unfashionable.
I started blogging in March 2011. So just really wanted to find other people in town who were interested in the same kinds of things that I was and start a conversation with them. I definitely have an editorial calendar. And I kind of go through what posts I'm going to be having coming up, if I'm working with any brands or any designers, that I really want to make sure that I'm working with their timelines as well. Of course, there's links to all of the social media that I use. Twitter is really useful for actually talking to readers. I think Boston has some fashion constraints that other cities maybe don't have. We have a blizzard outside right now, for example. That limits what you're going to be wearing. Just our geography, the fact that we have to walk everywhere and take the T, and there's cobblestone streets, this limits, you're wearing of stiletto heels or things like that. Take what you have and work with it. Everyone thinks, oh, we've got to go to New York and LVMH, needs to buy us out, and that's success. I think there's also a whole different model for success, which is being a designer in a city and having your client base here, having a sustainable business.
I got a job at a publishing house, and one of my first tasks there, and still is today, was to write for and maintain the blog and website. I usually try to plan things at least 2 weeks in advance because I love writing every day, and I've gotten to the point where I think readers expect it, and I've tried to take a couple days off over the last month or so, and I've gotten messages, especially from my friends actually, not necessarily readers even, but friends and family who I didn't even realize read this thing on a daily basis. Like, where's today's post? Is everything okay? And I keep the list of brands I'm working with and products I have agreed to review, and try to especially be good about planning those because, of course, I have the brand expecting. I'm on Twitter for probably, say, 3 or 4 years now. That was I had to sign up for a class, and it was another thing I just kind of stuck with. I had fun and then continue using on my own. I don't want to say we're a poorly dressed city. It's just you see a lot of plain clothes, and I think that just comes from the jobs around here. That's not a lot of fashion jobs and media jobs where you can be wearing whatever you want to wear. It's the financial district where it's like pants and suits on a daily basis, it seems like. And I mean, I'm guilty. And then there's jobs like mine where I work in a very casual office and I don't have to dress up at all. Like, I could go into work in jeans and flats and that would be totally fine. So I'm kind of guilty of it actually sometimes, being lazy. So I really think that's it. I think Boston's a little lazy.
Boston is the first magazine by the Boston Bazaar, and we started as a fashion magazine, but we kind of wanted a little more. So beyond just fashion tips and whatnot, we focus on people that have some type of entrepreneurial spirit. So we interview people with brands and startup businesses and companies, and we focus on people that are already making it in their industries, whether it's like film, art, literature, fashion. It's pretty broad. For the magazine, we do things like Look of the Day. We cover stories that are relevant in fashion now. We have a lot of interviews going up. We're doing quizzes to get people involved and interactive. We cover as many Fashion Week type of things as possible. And then just doing like trend reporting and like how to wear cozy sweaters in the fall or random things like that. And then on the blog, each day we focus on what's new in editorial, like photos, what magazines are coming out with, and then just what's going on in the news, what people are missing when they're asleep, and what's really relevant, new brands that are coming out, new photo shoots and things like that. Most people go on their social media sites more than they do our website, so what we try to do is every hour even just reach out onto like Facebook and Twitter and talk about what posts we're throwing up on the sites and getting feedback on our social networking sites. People are more apt to respond, comment, and interact with us than they are on our website. People that say it's not a fashionable city, I think they're looking at like college campuses. We're the biggest college city in the United States, so a lot of times you'll see people walking out in sweatshirts, wearing their like school tees and stuff like that. So the fashion community isn't in your face like it is in New York. They're known for it. But there is kind of an underlying fashion I don't know, voice in the city. People are really interested in it, and I think it's that crowd that doesn't get necessarily picked up because we're not the majority. There's not as many people interested in fashion as there are college students. So in a sense, I can see why people say that. You know, if you don't know where to look for it, you're not going to find it. But I do think it's on the rise there's magazines popping up everywhere. Like, besides Tosser, there's other magazines coming up, and the blogging community is growing really heavily. And then companies like Karmaloop that are actually based in Boston really help develop this tone that we have in the city that's really fashion focused. So I think just not exploiting it, but bringing it out and showing more people. That's why I think having a magazine based here and connecting with people and promoting it in our own city, people are going to be like, oh, there are a lot of fashion based businesses and a lot of fashion oriented individuals in the city, and I think